Hi, I'm Stanley from Dulux. Today we are walking through the practical steps to painting from start to finish, and from inspection and prep through priming and painting to touch-ups, cleanup and disposal. The goal is simple: a better finish that lasts longer with less rework.
Step 1 is inspection. Before you open a tin of paint, you need to know what you are painting and what condition it's in. I am checking for 5 things. 1. Surface type: plasterboard, masonry, timber, or previously painted surfaces. Number 2. Surface condition: look for dust, oil, mold, chalking, peeling, and water staining. Number 3. Repairs needed: look for dents, cracks, gaps, nail pops, damaged edges. Number 4. Moisture or wet areas, and look for them in bathrooms, kitchens, external walls, and window reveals. Number 5 is what finish the client expects. So the client expects durability, cleanability, sheen level, and longevity.
Now let's talk sheen, because sheen affects appearance, durability, and how well imperfections hide. Let's look at a few sheen levels. First, low sheen or matte. They are best for broad walls, hides minor surface defects, and looks modern. Secondly, semi-gloss, more washable and durable, but highlights surface imperfections more. And lastly, gloss, highest durability and easiest to wipe clean, but shows every defect. The best for doors, trims, and joinery when the substrate is well prepared. And don't forget the golden rule: choose the paint system based on the substrate and the different conditions.
For this training, we'll reference 5 common products and where they typically are used. Though there are other products, for today we will concentrate on these. 1. Our Dulux wash and wear range for interior walls, where you want a durable, washable finish. Our wash and wear range is also mold resistant, ensuring a healthy and clean household. 2. Our Nippon Q Glow for interior walls, where you want a reliable interior finish. 3. Our Berger Everlast, where interior walls need durability in busy spaces. And 4. Our Dulux Weather Shield, an exterior UV resistant or ultraviolet resistant paint made in Papua New Guinea for the unforgiving Papua New Guinea sun and tropical climate. And number 5, our Nippon Q Seal, exterior paint to suit again our Papua New Guinea weather conditions. Before priming, it's important we set up your workspace properly. It speeds you up and protects the area. At minimum, you'll need the following: drop sheets, masking tape, sanding block or pole sander, putty knives, patching compound, and caulking gun, dust brush, vacuum, microfiber or soft cloths, rollers, roller trays, and extension pole, brushes, stirrers, and don't forget your rags and PPEs. Buckets: clean water bucket for water-based paint and separate container for solvent cleanup if using oil-based products.
Now it's prep time. Prep time is where jobs are won or lost. Here's the practical sequence.
1. Dry scrape any loose or flaky paint. 2. Sand the repaired areas and also sand any glossy areas so primer can adhere. 3. Vacuum dust. Dust is the enemy of adhesion. 4. Patch any dents and cracks and let it dry. 5. Sand patch areas smooth and vacuum again. 6. Fill all gaps on trims and corners if required. Allow to cure and sand before painting.
Lead time depends on drying conditions. But patching and filling can easily add half a day to a day. Rushing this stage shows up forever in the finish. Cutting in is the detailed work. If your edges are sharp and consistent, the whole job looks professional.
Load the brushes, then tap, don't wipe. Cut in corners first, then edges, then around frames and fixtures, around lights, switches, and door hardware. Mask if needed and keep a steady end. Always maintain a wet edge. Cut in one wall, then roll that wall before it dries. Rolling is where you get speed and consistency if you do it right. 1. Use the right nap length for the surface. 2. Load the roller evenly. Then apply in a W pattern and back roll for laying off excess paint. 3. Don't overwork it. Once it starts to tag, leave it. And 4. Work wall by wall, always keeping that wet edge.
Now for the coating structure. Most quality finishes rely on primer sealer where required, then 2 top coats of finish.
Drying times depend on humidity and airflow, and in PNG it is very humid, so don't rush. As a rule, 1. Let each coat dry fully before recoating. 2. If the surface still feels cool or tacky, it's not ready. Number 3. Ventilate the space, but avoid dust blow-in. Generally, Dulux brands require 2 to 3 hours to fully dry before a second coat can be applied. Be sure to confirm this with your Dulux representative when preparing.
Finishing is about performance. You're not just making it look good today, but you are making it last.
For interiors, durability comes from correct film build and correct product choice. In humid areas, mold control starts with clean substrate, removing existing mold and ensuring good ventilation. For exterior systems like weather sealed or Q-sealed, ultraviolet or UV resistant and weather durability depend heavily on correct prep, correct primers for the substrate, and full coat coverage, especially on edges, joints, and exposed surfaces.
Touch-ups are a process. Don't panic.
Do a slow walk of every wall with a work light. Look for misses, thin coverage, roller edges, patch flashing, drips, and rough nibs. Lightly sand imperfections. Wipe clean, then touch up. Feather your touch-ups, but don't leave hard edges.
At the end of the job, cleanup depends on what you used.
Water-based paints. Rinse rollers and brushes in water until it runs clear. Spin rollers if you can and dry them properly. For oil-based products, clean using the recommended solvent in a controlled way, then wash and dry. Store solvents safely and dispose of all waste in accordance with the local regulations and in line with Dulux safety and sustainability vision of a future without harm. Handle transport and dispose of solvents responsibly to minimize environmental impact. Remove tape carefully. Vacuum floors and wipe down dust. Stack tins neatly, label leftovers, and record colors used for future reference. Finally, conduct a walkthrough so the site is move-in ready.
In summary, here are your big do's and don'ts. Do inspect first. Identify your substrate. Look for damages, moisture, and the required system. Do prep properly. Sand, patch, vacuum, and protect the site. Do use primer sealer where it is required. Do cutting and roll while keeping a wet edge. Do allow proper dry times, especially in humid conditions like you're in Papua New Guinea. Do quality control with the work light before and over. Let's talk about our don'ts. Don't paint over dust or chalking, grease, dirt, or mold. Don't skip primers on bare or repaired surfaces. Don't rush recoats. And don't mix systems without checking if it is compatible. At Dulux, we believe the more prepared and detailed you are throughout your project, the more longevity you create. It might take more effort, but it's worth it. And remember, if it's worth doing, it's worth Dulux.